And good morning, Hoosier fans, and welcome to another car edition of Hoosier Morning After. This is Hoosier Morning After Wisconsin. I am your host, Chad Schwartzkopf. Indiana Hoosiers go on to lose a tough one. One that honestly we didn't think going into it. I didn't have the biggest confidence that this team could be able to pull out, but kind of gets pleasantly surprised by the attack and effort of the guys. Last night, ending score in double overtime, Wisconsin 80, Indiana 73. Started out frustrating of a game and kind of ended frustrating too, obviously. Struggled a little bit getting going. Indiana goes on a little bit of a scoring drought in the beginning of the game. And then like we have seen, which is good, positive, I should say, considering playing bad to start, comes out the second half and plays a wonderful second half. Defensively, sticks with it. Offensively, has some good looks. Lots of different guys step up. Has a chance in regulation to win the game, and just quite doesn't get it. Going to overtime. First overtime looked pretty good. Still had a chance. Then by the second overtime, guys just looked gassed. Guys were not moving as much on offense, and Wisconsin was able to take over and win the game. Now, where I here we go. Where I get frustrated. This is a game that, if you're watching on any sort of social media or anything like that, you see a mixed bag of reactions to a game like this. You see a lot of people aggravated with the officiating, rightfully so. You see a lot of people frustrated with the finishing of the Hoosiers, saying there were chances and IU didn't convert. Again, rightfully so. But you kind of sit there and do kind of two birds in one hand kind of situation, we're two in the bush, whatever, a bird in the hand, we're two in the bush. However, whatever saying you want to apply to this game, the officiating had an effect on this game. And I keep saying the word despite in my head. The team did not get a lot of calls. But despite that, they had a chance to win the game. Indiana was without Armand Franklin. And despite that, they were able to keep it close and almost win this game. Indiana had, I don't know, it's aggravating. The first half woes, Wisconsin's good underneath. They've got great leaders in Reavers and the other gentleman, I'm spacing on his name right now, wonderful guys in the paint. And Indiana did a great job in the paint. I think we finally won the game with points in the paint. Sorry, the stats I have up here on my phone don't show that for me. But we did a good job against them, and we were handicapped for that in the first half because right within the first 5 minutes, Race gets two horrible calls against him. I thought it was the Big Ten. I thought guys tend to bang a little bit and stuff like that happens. And okay, it's the beginning of the game. The refs are trying to set the tone. They're trying to set on how they're going to call the game, how the game's going to go. They want to keep control of the game. That's fine. Call it consistent, though. Call it consistently. You go on one end, Wisconsin's on offense. Guy goes up, gets slightly bonked. Whistle. Trace goes underneath, goes up, gets bodied. Nothing. It's just aggravating. So aggravating to see something like that. And it seems to always happen to us in Madison. What is it about Madison? Are these guys, I mean, they're veteran players. They're a fantastic team. This takes nothing away from the team. It wasn't at all the foul calling is not what Wisconsin needs to hang their hat on to win games. I'm not saying that by any means, but because they're a good team. They're 8th in the country, and rightfully so. They start 5 seniors. They've gotten old, they've gotten experienced, and they're gotten skilled. Trice made some fantastic plays at the end of the game that helped win it for them when our guys were dogged and couldn't keep the pressure on him like we have. And still, even with the pressure, he made, and other Wisconsin players made, some fantastic shots, contested shots, some fading back shots. So they're a great team. And again, I didn't expect much coming into this, and maybe that's why it hurts a little bit more and is a little bit more frustrating, because deep down, I was not expecting to come out with a W in this game. And then when we had the chance to get it, it kind of makes it sting that much more. But we had the ball in regulation. We had a chance. Give it to Trace, of course. He's the one we want to have take the shot. And he goes up, has some contact. Refs swallow their whistles again. And again, I understand that. By all means, at the end of the play, at the end of regulation, when a game is on the line, a referee is less likely to blow that whistle. They are not going to blow that whistle. They do not want to factor into that. You can kind of use that sometimes to a degree when you're playing defense against a shot like that, to be slightly more physical, because most refs don't want to be the factor that caused the outcome of a game. And Trace goes in there and gets a lot of contact and does not get the call. Frustrating. Guys could have been down for that. Trace could have been down and not come out in overtime and do a good job. In overtime, we push through and we do pretty well. So, yeah. Like I said, I keep going back and forth in my head. IU, this officiating, they should have won the game, despite the officiating. But despite the officiating, they still had a chance to win it. It's mind-boggling. And it's frustrating. What I got to get past, and what we all have to get past as fans, is that there was some real good growth in this game. You saw some great leadership out of guys. You kind of saw there was a shot coming out of an timeout. And I wish I could read lips. Maybe you guys saw it too and can let me know in the comments, where Trace is kind of pounding it first on Rob's chest, talking to him, and then he kind of points the finger into Al's chest. Real leadership, kind of pushing guys around, trying to get them going, keep things going. And I like to see that. That's great. He's stepping up into that role. No, he's our best player and knows he needs to lead and call guys out. We need to call guys out. Because we haven't seen it out of anyone else. I mean, if that existed, it would have existed in the team last year. From any of the upperclassmen, I should say. And was really hoping I'd see that, honestly, from Race this year. And most of the shots that I see on the sideline or during dead balls on the court, in my mind, I thought I would see Race being more vocal with the team and talking to them and getting guys pepped up and being that emotional leader guy. But I haven't. I don't know. I almost feel Race has checked out a little bit emotionally. I don't know. I don't see. He does great. He's still hustling. He's doing great plays, but I don't know. I don't see that extra tick of fire in him in the recent games. So something I'm going to keep an eye on in these next few games. And maybe he just got a little demoralized in this game by the foul calling. Again, he's a physical player, and when you're handicapped by feeling like refs are going to call every ticky-tacky thing on you, that's going to do something to your morale. So maybe that's the factor. The bigger story beyond that is confidence built, confidence gained, Anthony Leal. That's fantastic. Fellow Bloomington South grad, making us proud. Panthers all the way. Come on, buddy. That was great. That's what it was exciting to see. We saw glimpses of it in the previous game, in the Maryland game, and we got to see it some more. He got to see some shots go down. 3 fantastic made threes by him, and then 50%. Great movement. Fantastic on defense. First overtime, I think it was, when Indiana kind of had it under control, and I thought we'd win in the first overtime. Again, officiating rears their ugly head, and there is Anthony Leal on the switches. We switched a lot on defense, on Reavers, one of their better players, their veteran, their leaders, and does a great job boxing him out. And it's just a smaller guy being physical, boxing out the other guy. I don't know if, and he gets called for a foul. I hate to see that. I don't know if that's the refs watching closer and watching the little guy, knowing that if the little guy's doing a good job boxing out and defending a big guy, he must be fouling. No, he's just good. Like I said in last Maryland show, he's just good at defending on the block. Again, at Bloomington South, he was one of the bigger players and often had to play in the 5 or 4 positions, so he had to guard a guy on the block. And so he knows he has that foundation. So great to see his work ethic that we keep hearing of. Even Al mentioned it in the post game show, saying he's the hardest worker. So it's great to see him getting out there. So it's fantastic to see all around. Again, stuff to build on. Moral victories don't count. I know it's aggravating, but good to see all around guys doing better, things coming out of a good game. So hopefully we'll move on from this. We'll see better things moving forward. And I got to get into work now. As you can see, work vehicles coming in. So that'll do it for this edition of Hoosier Morning After, the car edition. Thanks for watching, guys. I'm going to try to get this video up as soon as I can. I got to go into work, so I can get it up when I can. Please like, subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow me on Twitter at General Chadwick. There you can find information about the show and ask questions that I will try to touch on during the show. Thanks for sticking with me, and obviously the lesser quality as I have to record this on my computer here in my car before I go into work. Thanks to Bob Thompson, another Bloomington South grad and Panther, for producing the music you hear on the show. I'll be back again the morning after the next game. Thanks, Hoosiers. Go out there and have a wonderful day. Go Hoosiers.